Hey, we're Ed and Laura, and welcome back to the channel. This is our morning just till after lunchtime in a life, because Duna will only give us half a day, but here we go.
So we've just spent a mad 2 days. We've got a new block of apartments that we've taken on a 5-year commercial lease, so you can see some of the things we've been up to behind the scenes.
Trademark.
Nothing wrong with it. All paid for, as they say. Oh no, oh no.
Duna.
Well, that was a neighbour.
We've already been told off by the neighbour.
Ed loves a neighbour feud, don't you?
I just don't. There's no need
All
to be
neighbours-
that rude.
all neighbours
though,
hate
is there?
us.
There's no need to be that rude. So, this is it. We're inside. A little bit about this deal, or what we are inside, I guess, is a block of 4 apartments. We've got these on a rent-to-rent basis, so we rent the entire block. The landlords approached us, came through our website, on our web form, contact us. Initially, they only wanted to give us the two ground floor flats, but like 2 beds, we can make them work in this particular area, but like we want bigger houses really, more bedrooms, and I knew they had another 2 flats above, one being a 3-bed and another being a 2-bed. However, I said to them, look, I'm gonna be honest, these are beautiful and would be lovely additions to our portfolio, but we're not really looking to grow the rent-to-rent business right now, unless an unbelievable opportunity comes along. So I said, the only way it's gonna work for us is if you give us the entire block. There was a little bit of back and forth, obviously, on the rental figure, what we pay per month, which, don't quote me, you might have to do a little asterisk, Dunes, but I think it's about 3.8k a month for this whole block. It was more interesting because more of the negotiations were about who's responsible for what, which to me was reflective of their experience, and their initial focus is not necessarily the monetary value, but for them to be less inclined and less involved from a time perspective. They really don't want to have to worry about certain elements here. So a big thing for them was to omit the responsibility of the corridor or stairwell that goes up to the flats above, particularly the maintenance of the emergency lighting, etc. And there was just a lot of back and forth with that regard. With that, we were able to take on some responsibility, which is fine for us because we take on that responsibility elsewhere. We've got teams, processes, systems and people in place to deal with that. We were able to use that as a tool to negotiate a lower rent. So they initially wanted like 4.5, I think, for this block, maybe 4.4. But anyway, that's a little bit about it. Look where Laura made me sleep last night, man.
I wish.
That's doghouse, that is. Not even downstairs in the bathroom.
No.
We were prepared to. We're above that life now, mate.
Yeah, we stayed at a mini
2 nights in the
Premier Inn
hotel.
instead.
Woo! Premier Inn.
No, I've just hung that up.
Oh, really?
Why would you take that off?
Law, careful.
Literally just spent 10 minutes folding that and hanging it.
Babe, if you took 10 minutes folding that, then we're in trouble.
Okay, no, you're right, I'm wrong. It's for upstairs. But I did do that on the other end.
Hand to me.
Keep working.
Hand to me.
Keep working.
We're in a 2-bed ground floor apartment, was a commercial unit, is now a 2-bed ground floor apartment, and we're just gonna show you around really. We're quite happy because the spec is really nice, and obviously it's just been converted, so it's really good. I'll tell you what I'm not happy about though. Dunes, reverse. This, you know what, I think this might have been, I don't know why this is in place, because it must be structural, but it had to stay, and it had to be fire rated. Anyway, yeah, but it's so annoying because this space is huge. That pillar's pretty annoying as well, but we couldn't for ages. 2 days ago, we're trying to run a militant operation, right? We're trying to set up as quick as possible, but also we don't have to absolutely bollock ourselves like we used to. So we're trying to enjoy it as well, get a good steady pace. But we've spent ages trying to get this sofa, which is modular, just moving it around the room and trying to get a configuration that worked and flowed well for. We quite prioritise having different stations within our SAs and our HMOs, which is why, again, another point, it's hard to outsource these little things because there's things that we prioritise that other people don't. So if we ask some of our team to come and set this up, they just set it up, and however they first initially probably put it up, i.e. in that corner there, they then walk out. They're not thinking about things with the same compassion and detail that we are. We want this to run like amazingly and the best it can, and everyone who comes in there to have the best possible experience, and those little details really matter, which we find hard to outsource, if I'm being honest. People always go back to me, oh, you're doing so well, why are you doing setups? Like, it's way easier to come down here and just smash it out for 2 days, have it all done, then deliberate with different teams over a period of 2 weeks, you know, loads of time on the phone, and having to send people back. The monetary, obviously, value is it's going to be more expensive as well, but that's not why we do it. We're not trying to save money. We're trying to save time and resource, and our own resource. This is the first bedroom. We've gone for zip and link beds. Interesting enough, I'm going to hold my hands up here. We've never done this, you know, and I know it for most people it's an absolute, like, mandatory no-brainer. We've always felt that realistically, because of the size of our portfolio, we've got different room arrangements to suit different needs and contractors, and if the booking was large enough, then we've just gone and thrown a single bed in there anyway, or done whatever we need to. But I definitely think now that the added flexibility of having that option, because of the bookings that we now take, and they're minimum 28 days, and that's as a minimum. We don't take anything that's less than 28 days. A lot of our stuff is talking like 3 to 6 months, sometimes even longer. So if we need to pay a little bit extra and they want 2 single beds instead of this Super King for a booking that spans over that period of time, is a no-brainer to have that flexibility, because those bookings are huge in value over the lifetime of the booking, really. But this open communal space is huge for a 2-bed, and we could have filled it with like sofa beds, etc., which we didn't want to do because ultimately it's still just a 2-bed. But it's a nice 2-bed. Need a fridge. I don't know why they haven't put a fridge freezer in here. Like, I did say to him, I guess they're just omitting again. They're clever. Responsibility. My guess is they think that a fridge freezer is likely to break in time, and therefore if they supply it, they are responsible for it, and when it breaks and goes faulty, they have to get a new one. So if they just don't supply it, that by default is on us. We have to go and get it, install it, and if it breaks, get it again.
How's it going?
Everyone's here. I thought you were in here today.
I'm not.
Well, you are.
See, this is why I don't ask Ed to help. Look, he's taken 40 minutes to do.
You give me the rubbish jobs.
No, make sure he tidies up.
And I do a rubbish job of the rubbish jobs.
And start bringing the rest of the stuff upstairs then.
Yep. That's all the rubbish that we got told off this morning. I had it there, and I didn't realise that a car was actually in and out of that. But I did look at it and think, well, even if they are, they could still get out. But neighbour was very upset with me this morning. I'll have to show him his boss, you know what I mean? Little bam, bam, bam. Oh, is that all right?
Yeah, it's fine, mate.
Okay, cool. That stuff's not ours, but do you want to move that out of the way as well?
No, as long as it can get through, that's fine.
Okay, cool. Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realise that people were in and out of that gate. Hey. Cool, so this is the still ground floor, other side of the building. Again, same story as the other one. It's a ground floor, 2-bed flat, was part of the commercial, now it's resi. So they converted the commercial aspect into two-bed flats. This one has got a sofa bed, just for that added capacity. A bit of a gripe and a bone to pick I've got with a vendor. Like this, we've been hot off the press here, and it's been go, go, go. Like we've had a militant past couple of days, 2 days, setting up these 3 flats. They haven't put blinds in, which is annoying, because we need blinds. And I've been like, us as landlords and developers, we would never not put blinds in. So I'm gonna say like, mate, come on. Beg. But having said that, I have already had the blinds man here to measure up. We're gonna proceed and put them in ourselves anyway. And in the meantime, whilst that's going on, so I don't waste time, I'm gonna say like, you need to pay for it. He's probably not. I'm hoping we're gonna settle on a 50-50. Plant room, reverse, reverse, reverse. Again, now we're developers. I'm looking at things in a different light. There's things that I would have definitely done differently. This, like, I don't know why it's here, man. It could just be knocked all the way back. The plant room doesn't need to be massive. Doesn't need to be massive. Just put a door there, boom, boom, and then you got all this space. But hey ho, what do I know? Bedroom on the right, we're pretty much getting it to a point where it's gonna be ready, apart from our team who are gonna come and bring the bed in and do the beds up. And it's a shame really, because it feels quite a lot less homely without the beds made up. Feels like a bit of an unfinished project, but it will be super quick. It won't take them long at all. In the kitchen, haven't got the fridge freezer. So Laura's out getting that now. You might be thinking, where's Laura? We are still trying to run a militant operation. She was fuming when I told her that Duna was coming down. She's in our WhatsApp chat, bro. She didn't even read it. She didn't even know you were coming. She's like, I'm not me, yeah. So I don't know whether she's fuming because we've got stuff to do or whether it's because of that. But yeah, kitchen, nice, top spec. Again, from a design perspective, the only weird thing is if they do want us to put a fridge freezer in, like, put the sockets there, mate. Do you know what I mean? This is gonna be lovely, and we're gonna have to have cable, exposed cable, which, if you're an avid follower of the channel or of our Instagrams, you'll know that I hate. And the probably only avid follower we've got is my dad Kev, so
Shout out to Kev.
shout out, big man. So, you're gonna notice a stark contrast between the condition and quality of those first ground floor flats, because they've been recently converted, and this flat and the one above. Building control was here earlier checking on the fire doors. These have recently been put in, and I mean, they've gone for the cheapest fire doors going. They look horrible, and this condition of this flat has bits where it's a bit questionable and a bit iffy, but we're gonna have to go back to the landlord and have a conversation about sorting it out, basically. And us 3, 4, maybe even 5 years ago, this still, I would not have even cared, right, at the condition of this property, because just getting into a deal, a rent-to-rent deal like this, was a huge accomplishment. But now we're higher up the table, if you like. We can have genuine conversations, and, like, to be honest, a lot of this property in terms of the quality it's just not good enough for us. Whilst the prospect, and it can be incredible, and I'll go on and show you why in a minute. The size of this flat is huge. You know, the layout, the flow, it's gonna do great for us, but some points need to be resolved and brought up to standard. So we'll be having conversations with the landlord about that, and I'll show him as we go through, but come in. So, like, again, with my developer, bang, hat on, this, like, the configuration of this flat is mad. There's loads of just wasted dead space, which we'll be able to use for our benefit, but if I was them, I would have done it so much more better. So initially, this is just this might even be called a foyer. A foyer? Oh no, dudes. Is it a thing?
Yeah.
Okay. We're gonna use it though, it's cool. We've got a sofa bed here, which I'm thinking about it, right? We had an extra sofa bed, we didn't even know where to put it. It is kind of like their own room, although it is by the front door, but at least they're segregated. We're gonna have a desk underneath there, big long desk, you know, so they can work obviously from home. If we come through, so the layout of this is a bit strange, but not complaining. Huge bathroom. The problem is with a huge bathroom is if you don't fill it, it feels very cold and large. We've had that issue before. So we've been putting mirrors up all over the shop, but big bathroom's never a bad thing. Small little bedroom, double bed though, on the right. Again, another double bedroom. Classic. One of my favorite things is to put a shelf above a bed and you get some green floral stuff on it. Like, we're not doing super luxury stuff. We're not doing not nice stuff either. Like, our stuff is very nice and like pleasant to be in for sure, but we focus on moving with speed and volume and not spending 10, 15K on a property to set up, which is what some people do, because our target market is not that luxury, not that type of clientele. Ours needs to be efficient, effective, definitely nice, definitely end user experience. And with that in mind, we focus on practicality, we focus on the quality of the beds, focus on the quality of the sofa, we focus on being able to actually live in here as opposed to it looking great. Still looks good, but I mean, there's some really nice stuff you see out there now, which is, don't get me wrong, mint. And there's a big thing about, you know, the luxury SA space, which is so cool. I see people absolutely killing it. We tried our hand at it though, and you have to work very hard for that money. Managing that clientele is very tough. And also recent regulations, VAT changes, etc. we've shifted our model away from that entirely. Boom, though. Boom, boom. Oh my days, like, this makes me want to live here, which is a shame, really, because it's just this why I want to live here. Look. Dudes, do you feel the same? Like, you know what I mean? Me and you, chilling, you editing, me listening to people moan about builders and stuff. What else? Look, double chill, back-to-back chill. So much chilling to be had. If you were pissing me off, we could chill together and not even know it. So this is the same sofa as downstairs, but this is the one with the extra bit in. Look what difference it makes. This is a bad boy sofa. I would love that in my gaff. But it picked up a great price and it fits the room really well. I was worried actually, because on the shop floor it seems pretty small. When you put them in here, they're massive. The third and final bedroom. So here, again, you know what I was referring to earlier, guys, a minute ago, about we're more now about practicality than we are the way that this looks. This room, I promise, we know, looks strange. It looks strange. It's not very symmetrical. It looks odd, that all being there, and we've played around with it loads, and this is the best pragmatic approach we can get to it. I'll be honest, this single bed we did not plan to have 3 beds in here. We planned to have 2, but this came part furnished. There was a few beds throughout. Most of them, we got rid of all of them instead of that one. That one's in all right condition. We had a look and we played around with it. Do we keep it in here? Because the room is huge. The room is absolutely huge. And we thought, you know what? If we need to get rid of it at a later date, it's not working, then we can. But for now, let's keep it in here. So I know it looks strange, but the functionality and the practicality of it is good. You got to believe me. You got to believe me. Shall I tell you what I love? Shall I tell you, Doons, what I love? I love getting up, obviously, and then sometimes it's a bit annoying. You've got to sit on your bed and put your socks on in it. It sinks a bit sometimes, or you know what I mean. Having a sofa or something to sit on and put your socks on in the morning, top notch. You may have seen a saga about Laura going mad at me. No, Laura, it's going to hit all this. No, Laura, honestly, don't get longer than that. Or at least have a conversation about it. Like, I can defend myself and I can justify it, I promise, but I'm not gonna ramble on. I already rambled. Yeah, that's what I did. We didn't put the curtain pole up, but I did buy those curtains, and they're not long enough. So we'll see what she comes back with. As if that bit isn't already, well, it's large enough, right? I came in when I was doing the viewing. Look at the size of this lounge and reception room. Like, it's absolutely huge. And I'm just thinking straight away, why have they not? Because you've got a window here, you've got everything you need, that's big enough. Why have they not just put a partition wall up and changed that to a bedroom? And then who cares about why they haven't? More importantly, can I? So that's what I'm looking at straight away. I'm thinking initially, what does it need in terms of the actual outlay and costs? And you know what, guys? It's not a lot at all. There's already a rad in here. There's already a socket pendant in here. So all we're going to have to do is chase this cable out, move the switch, put a partition wall up, and we're literally golden and good to go. We've got a new bedroom. Now, with these being very commercially minded landlords, and they inherited these properties the way they are, the top 2. They've obviously done the bottom 2 ground floor flats. It's a clever conversation, because previously when we've had these conversations, landlords have just been like, yeah, crack on. Really, what they should say is, crack on, but what else do we need to think about? And by that I mean, like, you need to do it to building regs. That's first of all, which sounds obvious, but some people don't do it. And it needs to be, compliant. It needs to be compliant. Because changing this from a 3 to a 4 bed, you know, what does that do? Does that push us into potential HMO category, etc.? And the fact that they came back with that makes me know that they're professional, serious landlords, thinking about things in the right way. And so, yeah, we will make sure everything's done, compliant and all good. And this will now go from a 3 bed to a 4 bed, which I'm really happy about. So obviously you need to obtain freeholder consent, guys, to do things like that. By freeholder consent, ultimately, I mean in this case, the landlord's consent. They own the building. You can't be putting partition walls up realistically without notifying the vendor that you're going to do that and changing like electrics, etc. You really can't do that. But I'm really pleased that we can do that and we're doing it in the right way. And it's going to be really effective as well, because this is going to be a huge bedroom and we're still going to have a huge lounge, and it's going to result in a big uplift in revenue and profit for us. And I brought that conversation to the table at the very end when we'd already negotiated our rent. So that's another clever tactic, because they could have used that as a tool to increase the rent. Oh, well, it's gone from a 3-bed to a 4-bed, the rent's gone up. So I'd agreed everything in place, and then I went back at the end. Oh, by the way, I've just seen this, you know. Sweetened out with the neighbours, Law. You know what I'm doing?
They friends with
Oh,
you.
yeah, a bit of a tuffle, but... Is that all right? Yeah, sorry about that. I didn't realise that people were in and out of that gate. Right, into the kitchen. This is probably the worst bit about the property, really. It's okay, but there's definitely things in here which is just a bit annoying, and it stinks in here. You won't be able to smell it. It smells a lot better right now. It stank yesterday, though. Law's been at it, which is good. There's just a lot of exposed space within where the white goods are, etc., and not enough white goods. So we need to have a think about what we're going to do. And then also, we've been tasked to do an inventory and schedule and condition report to make sure that, well, we generate the report, they sign it off. So then come the end of the lease in 5 years, when we hand it back, it's in the same condition, but it's in quite bad condition. So there's going to be a lot of conversations to be had there. But yeah, just some interesting points, really. But that's the tour. Hope you enjoyed it.